Yes, folks, it's Tales from the Jails with John G. Sutton. That's me, by the way. Oh, me, by the way. But anyway, it's me. Yeah, thanks very much for watching this channel. Do like, subscribe, hey, and comments down below. Any requests you've got, by all means, hit me with your rhythm stick. And today, folks, I'm going to talk about the recruitment of prison officers and a big problem that is about to hit the prison service because the government has decided that they're going to rescind all the visas for the Nigerian recruits that they've recruited to the prison service. You know, the ones who are living in tents in woods nearby the prisons because they're not being paid enough to actually rent a house. I mean, how disgraceful is that? So they come over from Nigeria, think they're on good money. Well, by Nigerian standards they are, but by the standards of renting a house in one of Britain's cities, they ain't in the running. They can't do it. Back in 1975, when I worked at the Scrubs, I was applying for what they provided them was a prison quarter, and it was part of my contract of duty that I would be provided with accommodation. Part of my contract, part of my wage. And there wasn't any houses available, so they said, read about that in book 1 of my HMP Manchester Prison Officer series. It's down there. Yeah, you'll be able to read what I did to resolve that. Originally, I thought, well, all right, I'll go and rent a one-bedroom flat. That'll be all right, get my wife up here because she lived in Manchester. And they posted me to Wormwood Scrubs. So I thought, well, all right, I'll just rent a one-bedroom flat. Every penny of my wages from Wormwood Scrubs in 1975 would not fund the rent of a one-bedroom flat in London. How disgraceful is that? I mean, how are you supposed to live? And today, matters have only got worse. I believe that there are people who are actually bussing themselves in from the outskirts of London. People who are coming from places as far afield as Barnet. So they're travelling like 2 hours to get to work at Wormwood Scrubs and then go back. But anyway, we're talking about the recruitment of the Nigerian prison officers who were recruited from Nigeria and employed in British prisons, and the government, in their wisdom, I mean, this is a very wise government, don't you think? I mean, look what they did. They appointed Peter Mendelsohn, Lord Peter Mendelsohn. You always know it's a wrong un when they've got a title in front of the name, like Sir Keir Starmer or Lord Peter Mendelsohn. Yeah, they hired him as the ambassador to the United States of America when they fine well knew that he was a close associate of a convicted sex offender, Jeffrey Epstein. They knew that before they sent him to America. And of course, he's got something in common with the President of the United States of America, because they were both best buddies with Jeffrey Epstein. And both of them sent him, Jeffrey Epstein, birthday wishes on his 50th birthday. One of the messages that Mendelsohn sent to Jeffrey Epstein said, "It's wonderful to meet such a lovely man as you, who's been parachuted by the angels into my life." I mean, how camp is that? Seriously. I mean, but he is openly gay, and I'm not averse to people being of that particular persuasion. Let them get on with it. Just don't involve me. The only problem is that once you've been messed up with somebody like Jeffrey Epstein, who, beyond much of a shadow of a doubt, was an agent of Mossad. Now, Mossad is the Israeli Secret Service, and what they were doing with Jeffrey Epstein was getting him to get people in positions of power, corrupt them, film them, and use the information for blackmail. Now, I can't say that they've actually done that with Lord Peter Mendelsohn, But they certainly seem to have done that with numerous other people. And you can tell that there's something seriously amiss, because Donald Trump's saying there's nothing to it. There is no Epstein list. You'd be surprised who's on that list, actually. And if you only look at the flight logs, the people who have been on flights with Jeffrey Epstein, and I believe it was Bill Clinton about a dozen times, Donald Trump maybe 10 times or more, Prince Andrew, Prince Edward, not Prince Andrew, Prince Edward, he'd been staying at his apartment in New York after he was a convicted paedophile, after his conviction and serving prison sentences. Our Prince Edward went and stayed with him in New York, and still associating with him up until the time of his last incarceration was Peter Mendelsohn, who was sending supportive messages to Jeffrey Epstein saying, this is obviously a wrongful conviction. Listen, it's not for Peter Mendelsohn to decide whether it's a wrongful conviction or not. It's for the courts of law. And if you believe in the rule of law, then you absolutely follow it. I mean, personally, I'm rather sceptical about it, but if this is happening, then Mendelssohn's actual ability to think in a straight line has got to be seriously questioned. What a world we're living in. Right, so why are the Nigerian prison officers who have been flown in from Nigeria to work in British prisons having their visas revoked? Because the government, in its wisdom, has decided that they are going to set a limit. So if you're coming in the country on a work visa for a qualified position, then you must be earning a wage, a limit of £41,750. That is the minimum wage that you must be paid if you are a qualified individual coming in. I think they call them Einstein visas, don't they? If you're coming in on a specialist work visa, that's your minimum wage. If you don't being paid that, then you're not coming in and your visa will be revoked. Of course, they're not getting anything like that working in the British prisons. I think it starts at something like 24,000, maybe 30,000 if they work overtime. And don't forget, everybody who works in the British prisons works weekends, bank holidays, nights, all kinds of shifts. They've got to do it because it's a 24/7 operation. So what's happening now is they're going to have severe difficulties in recruiting people, because the prisons are extremely violent. They've allowed them to drop into the point where many of the establishments are suffering from rule by gangs, ethnic minority groups, radicalised religious groups, no names, no pack drill, but they are actually running the jails and the staff are terrorised. I mean, if you've got the hostess brigade running landings when there's only 1 or 2 staff on to 100 or so inmates, the actual ability of that staff to maintain good order and discipline is going to be extremely limited. And I keep banging on about this. You've only got to open the paper, and each week you'll see that there is a member of the hostess brigade that's been prosecuted, put before the courts and found guilty of malfeasance in public office, misconduct basically, smuggling drugs in, getting back scuttled in the cells, you name it, they're at it. But one of the solutions that the Home Office had, Shabina Mahmood, allowed them to recruit from Nigeria. No more. That is going to stop. They're going to cancel all the visas, and the prison officers that they recruited are going to be exported out, and they're going to be over 1,000, maybe 1,500 staff short very, very quickly. So where's the joined up thinking, folks? There just ain't any. Listen, you've got my number. You obviously need some help. Charlie Taylor, if you're listening, hey, this is John G. Sutton, This is Tales from the Jails. And now, a poem. I'm going to read you a Shakespearean sonnet. This is Sonnet 18. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? The poem is saying, basically, this is the message behind this poem, that the words in this poem capture the beauty of the individual it is describing, and that the poem is so powerful that it will outlive forever the beauty that it is describing, and that the individual may fade and time will pass, but the power of this poem will remain. Well, over 400 years has passed since this poem was written, and the poem lives, and the individual nobody can name. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. Sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often is his gold complexion dimmed, and every fair from fair sometime declines by chance, or nature's changing course untrimmed. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou owest. Nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade, when in eternal lines to time thou growest. So long as men can breathe, or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Sonnet 18 by William Shakespeare. If you liked that, which I assume you didn't, I can fully understand it. Here we go. I'm now going to sing a song recorded by Hank Williams. This is Your Cheating Heart. I hope you like it. I'm going to just bring the song dinger because I know it terrorises people. There we go. The song dinger, folks. Your cheating heart. Your cheating heart will make you weep. You cry and cry and try to sleep, but sleep won't come the whole night through. Your cheating heart will tell on you when tears come down like falling rain. You'll toss around and call my name. You'll walk the floor the way I do. Your cheating heart will tell on you. Your cheating heart will pine someday and crave the love you threw away. The time will come when you'll be blue. Your cheating heart will tell on you. There you go, Your Cheating Heart. Was originally recorded by Hank Williams and just destroyed by John G. Sutton. Tales from the Jails. Do like and subscribe, and after you've heard that, I imagine there will be quite a few people thinking, I'll walk the floor rather than listen to that nonsense again. Tales from the Jails.